So if you stick around, I mean, you don't have to. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the project and let you guys ask any questions if you have any, and then I have everything here if you want to get your copy signed or anything. So I'm Ashton Kaleigh. I work here as gallery assistant, but I'm also a full-time artist, and I've been teaching paint and sip classes and private lessons for like the last 10 years or so. I do a lot of illustrative work and like gallery work, so that's my quick background. This is my second grant that I have gotten from MCAD, and this project was really a lot of fun. When I was little, I liked to play outside with my brother a lot and just get into things and explore the natural world around me. And my mother was an artist, so she was a great inspiration to everything I've ever done. So this book, I heard a long time ago that kids these days know more Pokemon than they do anything else, like actually outside. And I hated that. So that's kind of where the idea for this book came from. I thought that it would be nice to highlight what we actually have here, because growing up, to be honest, I didn't love the desert. I didn't care for it. I like green a lot, so I like more rich environments typically. But as I got older and moved away and came back, I realized there's a lot of diverse life here, a lot of beauty, and I wanted to highlight that and have people like know what's around us, especially if things seem so like dark and bleak right now that who knows what kind of apocalyptic thing we might end up with. It'd be good to know what's around us and how we can use it. So that's really what brought this project about. So this little field guide is kind of modeled after the classic field guides from like the 1900s. Rory Peterson is a famous illustrator, scientist who would do illustrative field guides, and then the Audubon Society does their illustrated field guides. Now I think they're mostly photography, but I always thought they were beautiful and interesting. So that's why I did it. So I highlighted 40 of our things that you can find here. I tried to pick things that you're gonna see a lot of so that you can easily recognize them. So each page will have an illustration of the entry and some information about how to identify it, and maybe like some interesting facts about them that I thought would be good to know for everybody. And yeah, I just had a lot of fun doing this project. It was enriching for myself, and I hope that other people enjoy it even half as much as I did, because that would be pretty awesome. And then, so the book alone is, I think, for all ages, but because I was specifically targeting kids and trying to get them to learn about their environment, I put together a little Explorer pack. And then the Explorer pack shows you kind of the area of focus. We're in the northern part of the Chihuahuan Desert, so it's highlighted here. And that's where you're gonna, all of the things that I highlighted are specific to this region. And in the packet, you get a little magnifying glass, a ruler, and there's some activity pages inside. So hopefully we'll kind of feed each other. You can find clues to the puzzles within the book, and it's not hard at all, but like for kids, if they need extra help, they have those clues. And then the answer page is available on the website. Underneath the book, you'll find a little code and password, so you can access that, or reprint the pages if you need to. But it's a secret unless you buy the kit. So that's pretty much it. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to.
So I may have missed it, but did you say that you had them printed?
Where did I have them printed?
Sorry?
I'm sorry.
Where you had the books printed?
Locally, I actually used Regency.
Locally, oh.
Yeah, I tried to do everything I could locally. I wanted to.
Oh yeah. I missed it.
No, I didn't mention. I've used Regency before for other book projects. I did a coloring book a while back, and been a part of other projects, and I think they're great. Nice local company that will help you out, and decent pricing. Any other questions?
Can you tell us how you, with the grant process, just kind of backtracking a little?
Sure.
And
So
how that went?
MCAD does a couple different grant opportunities, and the one I've applied to multiple times and thankfully have gotten both is the Artist Incubator Grant, and they do that yearly. So around April, they open up the submissions, and what they ask for is for an artist to have some kind of project that engages the community, and we have to do a proposal. The project has to be something brand new. We can't have already worked on it. We propose a project with a full budget, a timeline, a marketing plan, and you just have to hit a bunch of points, and then you get reviewed by their panels to see if they want to fund it or not. So I was fortunate enough to get my second one, and that was for this project. And what I proposed was the book itself and to have a gallery display. So on the wall we have, I think it's just 20 or so of the actual illustrations and 2 photographs that I took. Of course, there's a lot more in the book. There's 40 entries, but some of them have multiple illustrations, so there's a lot of illustrations. But I did a variety of them here in gouache, which is like a opaque watercolor that's very like illustrative look. It was used a lot back in the day for like cartoon work. And a lot of the work is actually also done digitally, trying to match that style, because I do a lot of digital illustration work too. This is my
Is this your first book?
No, this is I guess technically my 3rd book. First
Oh, wow.
one I've written and illustrated myself.
Terrific.
My first one was done with another incubator program winner, Megan O'Toole. She wrote a book about a young woman, Carmelita Torres, who in 1917 caused a big riot and stop of the Santa Fe Bridge crossing over, because at that time they were mistreating any immigrants who were coming to work by dousing them with chemicals in order to delouse them. They were treated very poorly, and this young woman was crossing over to work one day, and she just had enough because they were being mistreated in so many ways. And she started the largest protest that we had seen up to that time. More than 2,000 participants stopped the bridge for a whole day, made it into the New York Times, and so it's an important part of history that until recently wasn't really talked about here, and it's very relevant to here, and especially now. So Megan wanted to highlight that, and she got a grant and she hired me to do her illustrations. So that was my first published book. My second one was, it's still in the publishing process. It's another children's book by another local author who does a lot of comic books and stories, and he hasn't actually released it yet. And then so this is my 3rd one. The coloring book is another one, but that's not really a book, so a couple printed projects so far.
So much more to come.
Yes, yes. Especially because getting into this, I learned a lot more about self-publishing, and I got the bug, and I love children's books, so I plan on doing more. I have one in the works already that by another local author, and another one that I'm writing and illustrating myself. Any other questions?
Can you tell us about, and I'm gonna ask questions. So when you were doing your illustrations, did you take picture? How did you, well, what was the process of accumulating the different
That was super
items?
fun, yeah. Because I'm a big dork and I like to be outside and just observe. Even if we're just like driving through an area, I'm constantly looking at the surrounding and seeing if I could tell what things are. So a lot of my reference pictures, I took photos of what I could actually find. Some of them are from my own yard, parks, even parking lots like at a shopping center that had a lot of yucca. Like I got up close and was just taking reference shots that way. I also have a collection of nature books myself, like those old school ones that I talked about, the little field guides. I love them, and I did some research at libraries, a lot online. There's a really great website if you are into natural things and want to learn about things found in specific areas. iNaturalist.org, I think is what it's called, and it's user submissions, so people take pictures of things they find, and then people on there can verify that identification, and you can find all sorts of information and links to find out about what any of that stuff is. So that was a great resource as well. But yeah, I had a lot of fun trying to find them in real life myself. I really liked the research portion of it. Could have probably stayed there forever. And it was hard to actually come down the list and decide what's going to make it into the book, because I could have kept going, but there's not enough time.
How long did it take, the process?
The
to
full
find- to
process
find-
was, well, it was a fiscal year from the time I was granted the award and to now. But I have so many other projects going on at the same time that it's really hard to tell exactly how many hours I put in. I tried in the beginning to actually log my hours, but I'm inconsistent at best, so I didn't keep up my log. I really did hustle maybe 2 or 3 months ago though, trying to get a move on things, because I'm a little bit of a procrastinator if I don't have hard deadlines. So just because there's so much to do. I'm always participating in different shows, and as I mentioned, I have a lot of different projects going on, so it's a balancing act, being a freelance artist with personal projects. So yeah, I don't know how long.
Right, okay.
I would,
Year.
yeah, I was guesstimating that maybe each entry took somewhere in the range of 5 to 8 hours per entry at least, because that involved research, consolidating the information, rewriting the entry points, the actual illustration, and then formatting the page for that. I think it's probably at least that amount of time per page. So it was a lot of work, and I couldn't have done it without MCAT's help, because that grant helped fund materials, some of the time that I had to take off of other projects in order to focus on this. So if you are a working artist or have ideas, I highly recommend going into MCAT stuff, because they're very supportive and gives you a lot of opportunities that you wouldn't have had otherwise. Any other questions?
I might have missed it also. So do you bring photos of your work to the printers? Or how does it print?
To see like the quality of the print, or what do you mean?
Sorry?
What do you mean, do I take?
When they print your work, do you bring the actual work or a photo of the work?
To compare it to how it turned out? No, so I have done a lot of print work already, and I kind of know how to format and the color spaces you should use. So I know a little bit about how to format it correctly so their printers can read it. But when I give them a file too, I have calibrations, and it doesn't look like the actual page that you see. It'll be extended, and it'll have like a color bar so that they can properly match. And they do provide a proof. So when they gave me a printed proof, I was able to compare that to the images and make sure that it looked up to my liking, my standard. So the coloring is pretty good in my opinion. It might not be 100%, but printing, that's one of the things you have to kind of make do with. I was pretty happy with the quality though. I think they did a good job, and they worked with me when they worked with me when I had some silly mistakes that I didn't notice, and I had to resend the file and get another proof. So yeah, I do recommend them. They're good.
Yeah, the color on these
So
is really good.
let him know the majority of these pieces, or all of them, are original except for the digital pieces.
Yes,
So
there's
I'm not
only
sure
a
if that
couple
was-
digital pieces here. The ones that have the text are the digital copies, and then everything else is an original. Y'all are welcome to come in. Hi. Yeah, we have seats if you want, and refreshments. Are there any other questions?
One more thing. Ashton sold 3 pieces at the opening reception, so you can see the 3 red dots. So we could put more on today if you're feeling like you want to bring home
An original piece of El
a
Paso.
a masterpiece.
Throughout the process, is there something you learned about the borderland, either the flora and fauna that you didn't know before, something that was really neat or interesting?
Well, one of the things I guess that kind of impacted me was I highlight 3 similar plants that I didn't know the difference of. There's the yuccas, there's this Wheeler Soto, and lechuguilla, which look all very similar. They have a kind of spiny base like that, and then they grow stalks with flowers. And we have a ton of those, and I didn't know the differences. And there's a ton like on the Franklin Mountains. Everywhere you go, you can find them. And I guess that was one thing that I found particularly interesting. Now being able to tell the difference, and even seasonally, because some of them only grow once in their lifetime. So I thought that was cool. I didn't know that before. I always just thought they were all like yucca or something. They're not. There's 3 different types. And there's a lot of different types of yucca as well, but I just assumed they were all yucca. So, yeah. Any other questions?
What's the name of the vibrant pink top, the pink flowered one with the turquoise? Kind of a barrel
Illustration.
cactus?
Oh, devil's head cactus.
That's stunning color.
Yeah, it has a interesting look about it. The base is like a blue-green color or like bluish gray, and then they have those really gnarly spikes that kind of hook around. They're huge, and then giant magenta flowers that are really beautiful.
What's it called?
Devil's head cactus. It has a ton of other names too, like horse maimer,
It's not
horse
a
crippler.
sotolo?
Those are other common folk names for them. Yeah. Yeah, because they're terrible. Those spikes can be up to 2 inches long, and they're not very big, but they're dangerous. Any other questions, comments, outbursts?
Do you have a favorite cactus? Or
Oh,
critter?
I do tend to like prickly pears because I think their flowers are pretty, and I like the fruits and how useful they can be, and I also like to eat nopales, so I would probably
Do
say
you cook them?
not
Or no?
not
Okay.
not often, but yes.
Okay. They're
I-
challenging.
Yeah, I
You're
wanted
trying
to actually try the ones in our own yard because we got a couple big plants, but I still haven't done it.
So it's two nothing?
Yes,
He claims they're good.
I think they're
Take his
good.
word for it. I'm not adventurous.
For the two photographs, where did you catch those?
They're both in my yard.
They were in your yard?
Yeah, the top one was when I lived on the west side. That was probably like 2 years ago. We had that gray fox come into our yard a lot, and it would just hang out and take naps. And we had a children's play set, and it would sit up there and like nap up on the platform. It was super cute. I was very happy when it would come around, and it let me take pictures, so that was cool. Oh, I did it from inside. I didn't want to freak it out, but I got a lot of good pictures of them. And then the bottom one is more recently. We had a lot of rain, so we get toads in the yard a lot, and that's in the northeast. And I think one of my other favorite pieces up here is probably the ornate box turtle, the desert box turtle, because the reference was actually my pet. I had that turtle back in college, and we released him into the yard. So not sure if it's him when we see turtles, but I like to think it is.
Can't remember who purchased that. The one with the red dot? I think Kirsten got.
Julie Lee bought that one. I think.
Okay, oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Kirsten got the
The toad, yeah.
right?
And then Neil got the
And Neil got-
Roadrunner.
I think so.
I don't know, I really, really enjoyed this project, and I hope that others will too. Any other questions, or?
Are you interested in tarantulas at all?
As a topic, sure. As a pet, not really. I think I only highlighted one spider in the book, but there's so much to choose from, so it was kind of hard to narrow it down because I wanted to give a good variety of the different.
So what spider did you highlight?
A wolf spider, which is not a single species. There's actually more of an umbrella of a lot of different ones, but we get those a lot here, so that's what I highlighted.
Do the brown recluses fall under that?
As a wolf spider, no. No, wolf spiders, the characteristics for those, they don't have webs. They kind of have burrows, and their eye formation is different than a lot of other spiders. They still have 8 eyes, but they have a row of 4 small ones right here, 2 really big ones right here, and then 2 medium ones right here. So they have really good 360 vision.
I wonder if the Girl Scout troops would be interested in something like this. Because it seems like they might go out on little walking adventures and stuff. I don't know if they still have Girl Scouts around here, but I think they do.
I think they do.
They sell cookies a lot. That would be kind of a cool thing to have for the troop leaders to get.
Yeah. Need to
If you
find
see
them.
any, we'll tell them.
Thank you.
Now that I don't work in schools anymore, I don't have access to Girl Scouts so much.
Well, I think that was pretty much the gist of what I wanted to share, unless anyone has any more questions.
It's just beautiful. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashton.
Thank you all so much for coming. If you do want a copy of your own, I do have single individual books here, and the Children's Explorer pack is a little bit different. It has the book, a magnifying glass, a mini ruler, and it has some activity sheets.
What's on the activity sheet?
There is a crossword puzzle, a maze, a coloring page, a word search. How many did I just say? 4 or 5? There's 5 sheets in there though. I don't know if I named them all. They're not terribly hard, and I like puzzles a lot, so I totally would do them myself too. But if you do find any challenges, the sheets have hints with the pages that go back to the book, so you can find your answers there, or you can use the code behind the book that will tell you where to get the answers off the website. And I have ability to take card, cash, Venmo, or Cash App if you want. And if you want anything signed, I'll also give you away free little insect stickers. So with purchase, so if you want one, it's a blind grab. If you don't like the first one you grab, you can do a second blind grab and pick out of those.
Free insects.
They're cute little insect stickers.